morning, everybody. This is JDB's Morning Cap. Today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. We all know that this is a golden moment for us. So we can do this show. I'm going to take this show much seriously this time. That's our main focus. Our main focus to talk about what's going on. And we got a handful of stuff to get to today. So, NBA Finals is one day away. I'll talk about that. As soon as we can. Oh Lord. So we'll talk stuff right now here. All right. So we had a trade alert here in the NFL. Let's start with the biggest news of the day. First one, let's start off with Myles Garrett deal. We have breaking news in the NFL. The Rams have acquired Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns, exchange for Jared Verse, 2028 first and second round picks, and 2029 third round pick. That's where the deal came from between the Rams and the Browns. So, is this a big win for the Rams or a big loss for the Browns? Well, let's start on the left side. This is a big win for the Rams because they need a defensive metric. They need like an Aaron Donald type size. Aaron Donald is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He won a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford in 2021-22 season. If Myles Garrett does win a Super Bowl, he'll join elite list. He'll join Aaron Donald. He won at least, he was a multi-defensive player of the year. He also won a Super Bowl that year. If Garrett wins the Super Bowl, he's a 2-time defensive player of the year. If he wins his first, he'll become one of the most, I think he'll become one of the first players in NFL history. Hold on. There's few. Aaron Donald, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2017, 18, and 2020 Super Bowl champion. Lawrence Taylor did it 3 times as well. He was a Defensive Player of the Year 3 times as well. 1981, 1982, and 1986. 2-time Super Bowl champion. Ray Lewis, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2000 and 2003. 2-time Super Bowl champion. Deion Sanders, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 1994, 1998, 2-time Super Bowl champion. J.J. Watt is the only player who won at least 3 Defensive Player of the Years. Not only didn't win a Super Bowl, did not make it to the Super Bowl. That's completely shocking. So if Myles Garrett wins the Super Bowl, he'll become the 5th player in NFL history to win multiple Defensive Player of the Years and win at least 1 Super Bowl. So if Myles Garrett does win a Super Bowl in 2026-27 season, then he'll become the 5th player. He become the 5th multi-defensive player of the year in NFL history to win a Super Bowl. Four members have accomplished. 4 members of the multi-time defensive player of the year has won a Super Bowl. Donald, Taylor, Lewis, and Sanders did it. And 3 players in NFL history, multi-defensive player, has won at least 2 Super Bowls. Multiple multi-time defensive player and multiple Super Bowl champions. So, and that's how good he was. How good Myles Garrett is. Rams, like I said, Rams need an extra game changer. That's exactly what the Rams need. Rams defense last year has struggled as far as pass rush consistency, so they're gonna clear it out of their heads. And now the Rams were not favored to win a championship before the Myles Garrett deal went down. Now, since the Garrett deal went down to the Rams are now favored to win the Super Bowl. They're favored to win the division. They're favored to win the NFC. They felt that they're favored to win the whole thing. So, NFC West is gotta be the strongest division in the NFL. You got Seattle. You got San Francisco. In fact, they're all playoff bound last year, and Seattle won the Super Bowl. We've seen NFC West teams having gigantic good success to win those Super Bowls. Seattle, the Rams, San Francisco. We've seen several teams for over decades. You win Super Bowls, you dominate your division. The NFC North has dominated the division last year. NFC North is the best division in the NFL last year. All 4 teams have winning records, just like National League Central this year in Major League Baseball has been over 500 after June 1st. So right now it is a tight division. NFC West is like a tight division, like up to 3 teams. Arizona Cardinals are not in that mix, even though they're in the same division. Arizona Cardinals were never in the mix to compete for the rest of their division. But the Rams are the team you're not going to mess with. This is a championship expectations for the Los Angeles Rams. Myles Garrett, now he's favored to win the Defensive Player of the Year this year. If he does so, he will join elite company with 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Lawrence Taylor, Aaron Donald, and J.J. Watt, who won 3 times. We have never had a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year in NFL history. If Myles Garrett can win 2 more Defensive Player of the Year awards, then I think Myles Garrett could be the first player in NFL history to do it. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. It has never happened in the history in the NFL. In fact, it has never happened in the Super Bowl era. Period. So, Myles Garrett heads to Los Angeles Rams, exchange for Jared Verse, multiple picks from 2028, first and second round 2028 picks, and 2029 third round pick. So, now this is a big loss for the Browns. The only thing that's a big win, the Browns get Jared Verse. This would be his 3rd season in the NFL. He spent 2 seasons with the Rams. First year, he was good. He won a Defensive Rookie of the Year. Then a little bit of disappointing season last year. Now this year, he's looking for a new energy, new face, new place. Now, Jared Verse will be the leader for the Browns, for this young Browns team. He's going to work with Carson Schlesinger, reigning defensive rookie of the year. I think this defense is still going to be strong. I won't say the best. I think defense will be stronger, even with Myles Garrett leaving to the Rams. These guys have been productive for years. But anyone knows that the Cleveland Browns, as I'm saying, that they need a young voice for this team, for the Cleveland Browns. Jared Verse, expect to be a new leader for this younger squad for the Cleveland Browns. This is a young group for the Cleveland Browns, with Todd Monken as a new Browns head coach. But now it's actually a big win for the young players. It's a big win for the Browns to prove how they can compete for a division. Or like a young quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, out of University of Colorado, the son of Deion Sanders. Shedeur, he's going to work on his accuracy. Despite the Browns quarterback situation with Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Deshaun Watson, and the list of the quarterback, and Tylen Green, when Browns recently drafted him. But we're talking about the Browns quarterback situation. It's really tough to say that, because it feels like there's a lot of things. We talk about the Cleveland Browns all these years and all these challenges. We've seen a whole lot of stuff going on, but we've seen it all happen. But I tell you what, things will get better because of that. This is a lot of situations you're really gonna make. So if that's gonna be the case, then we'll have to put us all out in this one. We have to see how that one goes here. The Los Angeles Rams projected wins before the Garrett deal was. I believe it's 11.5 wins. And then when Garrett heads to LA Rams, they projected 12.5 wins. So to me, for the Rams projected 12.5 wins when Garrett acquired to the Rams. Should I pick the over or the under 12.5 wins? I picked the over. Last year they won 12 games last year, as you expected. I expect to win more than 12 games. I expect to win 14 games this year. They're going to be a future dynasty, even though Matthew Stafford, actually for the first time in NFL history, we have a reigning MVP and reigning Defensive Player of the Year on the same team. Matthew Stafford won the MVP last year, and Myles Garrett was a Defensive Player of the Year last year. So these two will make history. First teammate in NFL history that two members who won an MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. Actually, it's the first time in franchise history, not NFL history. It's happened before. So it. So if that's gonna be that. Actually, this is the second teammate in NFL history. So the previous one, all right, this is only the second duel in NFL, second teammate in NFL history to the player who won the MVP last year and the player who won the Defensive Player of the Year in the previous year. Last time they did it, 1994, San Francisco 49ers. Steve Young won the MVP, and Deion Sanders won the Defensive Player of the Year. So that was the last time the players who won their respective awards to become teammates in the next season. And they went to the Super Bowl, and they won. And they can become the second in NFL history to do it. So it's about that. It's about it. Come next, let's stick with the NFL. We have another breaking news. We had 3 yesterday. We have 2 major ones. I got the first one out of the way. I got another one here. It's a done deal in New England. So I'll talk about that as well. Also coming up on JDB's morning cap, I'll talk about the Knicks. Actually, I'll talk about the NBA Finals matchups over the last 13 years since 2013. And then I'll talk about more, and then Odell Beckham. I'll update Odell Beckham Jr. Is he going back to a familiar place where he drafted at? So I have to find out. I have to break this all down. We'll be right back. Welcome back to JDB's morning cap. We do have breaking news in the NFL. The Patriots have acquired A.J. Brown. The Patriots have officially acquired A.J. Brown. They exchanged for their 2028 first-round pick and 2027 fifth-round pick. The draft picks are heading to Philadelphia. Are going to Philadelphia. Draft picks belongs to Philadelphia. So now A.J. Brown heads to New England. So the deal is closed and signed, sealed, delivered. So, and not only that, A.J. Brown reunites where he's familiar at from the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel. So hopefully relationship gets much better with New England. So he walked out, spent 4 seasons with the Eagles, and won Super Bowl titles. He appeared 2 Super Bowls. His first season with the Eagles, he went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs. He won a Super Bowl in the third season with Philadelphia. He beat the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59. So now, here's my question. How many receiving yards will A.J. Brown get in 2026? My prediction, they say about 1,000 yards. Should I pick the over or the under 1,500 yards receiving? In that metric, I'm going to take the over 1,500 yards receiving. And then A.J. Brown will have 6.5 receiving touchdowns. Why take the over on the under? I'll take the over. I'll take like 8 receiving touchdowns. He won't be the best wide receiver in the NFL, but he'll be one of the best. This Drake May, even though there's a potential Super Bowl hangover, the Patriots they might get off to a slow start because it's due to his early season Super Bowl hangover. Because of that, you're gonna go through some early season lumps. But I'll tell you what, the Patriots are the Patriots. This was a great franchise. This is a really great franchise for the Patriots. They won several Super Bowls. Largely, it's been the Tom Brady and Bill Belichick era. You got Robert Kraft. He's been an owner for this Patriots for decades. I mean, he should have been in the Hall of Fame. Same as Bill Belichick. These two would have been in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for these low votes. Because of that, it really bothers me why these two were not in the Hall of Fame. It's tough because you don't want to get through it. You didn't even want it. But now, before the A.J. Brown deal with Stephon Diggs getting released, the Patriots were projecting 8.5. They're projecting 9.5 wins. If Brown didn't make that deal, I would have picked the under. Now, Patriots are projecting 9.5 wins. So should I pick the over or the under for the Patriots? Well, this is a close call. Patriots won 14 games last year. To me, I'm going to pick the over still. They're probably not going to win many games, but they're probably going to win 10 games, which is enough to go to playoffs for sure. They're probably not going to win many games that they had last year, but they're probably going to win enough games to get into the playoffs, even they're not going to play their best. So, I know what areas where they lacked at is the offensive line, pass protection of Drake May. That's what the areas they need. And the other area they need to work on is the interior rush. The interior stopping the run. Or a healthy secondary. They need a healthy body or two in a secondary. That's the areas they need to improve. So, other than that, I think the Patriots are one of the most dangerous teams in not just in the AFC East division, the entire AFC. Last year, they proved to be the best wins for the Patriots last year. They beat the Bills in Week 5 on the road. The other best wins I can throw out. Other best ones I had to throw out here is defeating the Baltimore Ravens in Week 16. And the other best wins, they beat the Buccaneers in Week 10. I can say that. They beat the Buccaneers in Week 10 on the road. There's several best wins. They beat the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. So they check all the boxes except for the Super Bowl. They lost to the Seahawks. They check every box except they win the Super Bowl. It's all good. The Patriots are they could be team to beat once again. They're defending AFC champions. But it's not going to be an easy start for the Patriots. They'll kick off the season. They're facing winning teams through the first 4 weeks. In fact, Patriots are going to face winning teams the teams who were in the playoffs or not in the playoffs. Let's take a look at the schedule, winning teams against winning teams. Seattle, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Buffalo, Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers. That's a playoff team. Chargers, playoff team. They got to play the Bills twice, by the way. Broncos. Those are the teams who made the playoffs last year. The only team who didn't make the playoffs last year is Detroit Lions. They were a winning record and did not make the playoffs. This is a tough schedule. This is one of the hardest schedules in the NFL and the hardest schedule to start the season. They're going to go on the road 3 of the first 4 games. They're at Seattle in week 1. They're at Jacksonville week 3. And they're at Buffalo in week 4. So Patriots Seahawks on September 9th, which is a Wednesday. And then a couple of Sundays. Patriots at Jaguars on September 27th. Patriots at Bills October 4th, 2026. The first home game will be September 20th, 2026 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers will play his final game in Gillette Stadium that game. That week 2 game, I'm going to circle it. That Steelers and Patriots game. It's going to be interesting. It's expected to be competitive. Expect to be legendary versus young. Remember last time Aaron Rodgers first Drake May, the Steelers got the best of the Patriots in week 3 last year in New England. Other than that, the Patriots started 1-2, and then they just took off. They won 13 of the final 14 games since they started the season 1-2. And now it's getting off to a more difficult start than expected. Well, the Patriots could easily go 1-3. If Patriots go 2-2 after 4 games, you'll take it because they got an easier schedule after that. They got to play the games are facing low leverage opponents. They're going to play the Raiders in week 5 on October 11th at New England. They're going to play the Jets at home on October 18th. That's back-to-back home games. And then they got to play the Dolphins on November 1st in Miami. And then they got to play the Jets on December 27th in New York. They'll end the season against the Dolphins at home on either January 9th or 10th. So there's a lot going on. So the only game that I want to catch that is the Patriots at Chiefs on December 21st, which is the Monday. The only game I'm catching is the Patriots at the Chiefs. So I'm gonna count this schedule out loud. Week 1, the Patriots at Seahawks. I like Patriots losing that game. So week 2, Steelers at Patriots. I'll take Patriots win, 1-1. And then week 3, Patriots at Jaguars. That's an L, 1-2. Then Patriots at Bills in week 4. That's an L as well. So the Patriots will go 1-3 to start the season. And then they got an easier schedule for the next couple of weeks. Patriots versus the Raiders at home. Patriots win. They're 2-3. Patriots versus Jets at home. Patriots win 3-3. Patriots at Bears on the road. They'll lose that one 3-4. Patriots at Dolphins on the road. They'll win that one. Back to 500. Packers at Patriots at home. That's an L. 4-5. Patriots and Lions in Germany. It's Patriots at Lions in Germany. That's an L. So Patriots will be 4-6 going to the bye. Then it's Patriots at Chargers, week 12. That's a W. They'll be 5-6. Bills at Patriots. That's a W, back to 500. Vikings at Patriots. That's a W, 7-6. Patriots at Chiefs. That's a L, 7-7. Patriots at Jets. That's a W, 8-7. Broncos at Patriots. Win, 9-7. Dolphins, Patriots, win. So I picked Patriots 10-7. Patriots will go 10-7, and they're probably going to sneak into the playoffs. That's how this schedule is going to work in 2026-27 season. So when I choose Patriots 10-7, this schedule is a little bit different than expected. So it's like that here. So A.J. Brown is a Patriot, and now he's trying to do, his expectations is high for him this season, so there's no getting around it here. All right, when we come back, we'll talk more NBA. We'll talk NBA Finals matchups over the last 13 years since 2013, and then I'm going to talk about Odell Beckham Jr. And then we'll take it. We'll go from here in this one. So it's been an eventful day. It's been an eventful day yesterday, and it's gonna be an eventful day tomorrow. Game 1 between the Spurs and the Knicks at the Spurs. Game 1 of tomorrow's NBA Finals. I'll preview that one tomorrow. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. All right, we're going to step aside. Welcome back here to JDB's Morning Cap. We have NBA Finals is 1 day away. Let's take a look at the last 13 NBA Finals matchups. Let's see. In 2013 NBA Finals, Spurs matched up against the Heat. Heat 1-7. The biggest play in the series was a Ray Allen's game-tying three-point jump shot in Game 6. So the Heat was trailing 3-2 before they came back and won this series. And he won back-to-back NBA champions that year. 2014, Heat versus Spurs. Spurs 1-5. Kawhi Leonard wins the. So that's a big moment for the Spurs. They could have won 2 in a row, but at least they won here. 2015, Cavaliers and the Warriors. Warriors 1-6. So that's what the Golden State Warriors does. They're the best team in basketball that year. In this one year. And then in 2016, Cavaliers play the Warriors again. Cavaliers 1-7. Cavaliers came back from 3-1 deficit that year. And the biggest play in this series was LeBron James' chase down block on Andre Iguodala. And then Mike Breen said this, "Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with a rejection." And then LeBron said, "Cleveland, this is for you." Like that. So that's how the Cavaliers came back from 3-1 series down in the NBA Finals. And then in 2017, Cavaliers play the Warriors once again. This time, Warriors 1-5 with Kevin Durant with the Warriors. Warriors won the first 15 NBA playoff games before the Cavaliers took down the Warriors in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. And then the Warriors bounced back and they ended up winning the championship in Game 5. And then in 2018, Cavaliers played the Warriors one last time. Warriors won in 4, which is a sweep. And the Warriors won back-to-back NBA titles. So that's that. And then 2019, Warriors play the Raptors in 2019 NBA Finals. Raptors won in 6 in 2019. Then in 2020, Heat played the Lakers. Lakers won in 6 at the bubble. It was the bubble era. When COVID hit it in 2020, COVID-19 hit it, several teams, I mean not every team, but several teams or like teams that are about to be in the playoff position, they're are going to Florida at the bubble. Lakers beat the Heat in 6 games at the bubble. And then in 2021, Bucks played the Suns. Bucks won in 6 games. Bucks came back from 2-0 series down. And that was a huge moment for the Milwaukee Bucks. In 2022, Celtics played the Warriors. Warriors won in 6. They came back from trailing 2-1 series deficit and ended up winning the final 3 games. And then in 2023, he played the Nuggets. Nuggets won in 5. Against Nuggets won in 5 games. And then Mavericks played the Celtics in 2024 NBA Finals. Celtics won in 5 games. Celtics won in 5 games. And in 2025, Pacers played the Thunder. Thunder won in 7. So, what did I rank as far as best matchups of the NBA Finals? So I'm gonna go top 5 best NBA Finals matchups since 2013. Number 5, I gotta go. Number 5. Shoot. Number 5, I gotta go with the Warriors Raptors. I thought this series was improved, but the Raptors were just a better team. Raptors won game 1. Warriors took game 2. Raptors took games 3 and 4, and then Warriors took game 5, and the Raptors took game 6 in Oakland to win their first ever title, and that was that here. Number 4, I'm gonna go Cavaliers versus Warriors, first matchup, 2015. Warriors beat the Cavaliers in 6 games in the 2015 NBA Finals. Cavs were up 2-1 in that series, and before the Warriors took the next 3 games, and it was a full circle moment. Warriors would win a championship someday here. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Pacers and the Thunder. I thought Pacers and Thunder series was iconic. Game 1 of the NBA Finals last year, Tyrese Halliburton was an unlikely hero, and they shocked the Thunder in Game 1. And then Thunder took Game 2, Pacers took Game 3, Thunder takes Games 4 and 5 before the Pacers took Game 6, and then Thunder to Game 7. Game 7 thanks to Tyler Halliburton's devastating injury. Overall, it was a great series. Took 7 games. 7-game series with the Thunder's favor. And then number 2, this was a close call. I go Spurs Heat 2013 NBA Finals. Heat was down 3-2. I think Spurs win Game 1. I think Heat took Game 2. And I don't know. Spurs took Game 3. Heat took Game 4. Spurs took Game 5, and Heat took Game 6 and 7. And that's how the series went in 2013. But it was so special. Game 6, Ray Allen hit a game-tying 3-point shot. That was the biggest shot of the series. That led to a Heat back-to-back champions. And then finally, number 1 is the 2016 NBA Finals. Cavaliers came back from 3-1 series deficit. Cavaliers came back from 3-1 series deficit because of that. What else I'm going to talk about? So Game 1, Warriors took the first 2 games. Warriors took Games 1 and 2. Then Cavaliers took Game 3. Warriors took Game 4 before Cavaliers won the final 3 games of that series. Games 5, 6, and 7. Like I said, LeBron James' chase down block in Game 7 was the biggest play of the series. And the biggest play from coming back from trailing 3-1 deficit. That's history right there. The best NBA Finals matchup over the last 13 years was Cavs Warriors 2016 NBA Finals. What else I want to say to that? Most NBA Finals appearances by a player, LeBron James. But his run began in 2011. But since 2013, LeBron James Heat. 2015, LeBron James Cavaliers. 2016, LeBron James Cavaliers won a championship. 2017 Cavaliers. 2018 Cavaliers. 2020 Lakers. So LeBron James has made 7 NBA Finals appearances since 2013. Part of the last 13 matchups. But LeBron James began his NBA Finals consecutive streak run in 2011. It started off with the Heat. He lost to the Mavericks in 6 games. And then he beat the Thunder in 5 games. He beat the Spurs in 7. He lost to the Spurs in 5. Lost to the Warriors in 6. Beat the Warriors in 7. Came back from 3-1 down. Lost to the Warriors in 5. Lost to the Warriors in 4 via a sweep. Beat the Heat in 6 in 2020. So, most NBA Finals MVPs, we'll get to that in a minute. NBA Finals MVP since 2013. LeBron James with Miami Heat 2013. 2014 NBA Finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard of the Spurs. 2015 NBA Finals MVP, Andre Iguodala of the Warriors. 2016 NBA Finals MVP, LeBron James. 2017 In 2018 NBA Finals MVP, Kevin Durant did it a couple of times. 2019 NBA Finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard of the Toronto Raptors. 2020 NBA Finals MVP, LeBron James of the Lakers. 2021 NBA Finals MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. 2022 NBA Finals MVP of the Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors. 2023 NBA Finals MVP, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. 2024 MVP, Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. 2025 NBA Finals MVP, SGA of the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's your NBA Finals over the last 13 matchups. Most NBA Finals MVP since 2013. LeBron James has 3 since 2013. The other most, Kawhi Leonard has 2. Second most NBA Finals MVP since 2013. Kawhi Leonard has 2, one in each franchise and one in each conference. One with the Spurs in 2014 and one with the Raptors in 2019. So there you go. There's clear history, right? NBA Finals runner-ups since 2013. Spurs, 2013. 2014 Heat, 2015 Cavaliers, 2016 Warriors, 2017 and 18 Cavaliers, 2019 Warriors, 2020 Heat, 2021 Suns, 2022 Celtics, 2023 Heat, 2024 Mavericks, 2025 Pacers. Most NBA Finals series losses. Heat and Cavaliers are tied with 3 NBA Finals series losses since 2013. Tied for the most since 2013. We've seen that a whole lot. So that's going to be the key for this one here. So I want to say everything in the bottom of my heart. Come next on JDB's Morning Cap, we'll talk Odell Beckham Jr. and then we'll take it from here in this one here. Before I take a break here, we do have sad news to share. He's been coaching Rick Adelman. Has died. Rick Adelman is the father of the Nuggets head coach, Rick Adelman. David Adelman, excuse me. Rick Adelman coached with Sacramento Kings, Portland Trailblazers, Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was inducted to Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2021. He also won 1,042 games, which is the 10th most in the history of the league. Even though he never won the NBA title in his coaching career, he did let many of his several teams in deep playoff runs, including 2 trips with the NBA Finals with Portland. So he spent 23 seasons coaching. So he was also WCC Player of the Year in 1968 with Loyola Marymount University. So that's the 1 year. And we're gonna send our condolences to the entire Adelman family. He was survived by his wife, Mary Kay Adelman, and his 2 children, David Adelman and R.J. Adelman. Rick Adelman was 79 years old, and he will be missed. All right, so the New York Giants have signed not only Odell Beckham Jr., they also signed Juju Smith-Schuster. So these 2 guys try to solidify their wide receiver position. Malik Neighbors is still working with his ACL last year. So they'll try to get more wide receiver depth. So here's my question. I'm not going to hold you that long. My question is, should Odell Beckham be productive with the New York Giants this season? He may be productive at times when he needed him the most, but he won't be much productive. But I do know this. Odell Beckham Jr. he's one heck of a player. I can tell you that. But he's been going through off the field issues. He's been going through on the field painfulness. I mean, if he gets out of that, he'll be really, really good. If he's healthy, he could be really good. He's been going through some health. He's been going through his health struggles as far as injuries and his mental health issues. I mean, I do respect Odell Beckham Jr. I really do. There's no getting around it. And I respect Juju Smith-Schuster as well. I mean, these guys are talented, but I both know that they've been going through some health challenges and moving on teams. I mean, that's not gonna fly at all. I can say all that, but I do know this, that there's a moments that we really share about is taking ownerships when we stepped in or stepped out, but it's about taking responsibility. It's gonna be key to make this run and be very consistent. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna work out for the best. So we'll see how that plays out. So I think the New York Giants will just try to get that done as soon as possible in this one here. All right, let's close it out here. What's coming up tomorrow on JDB's Morning Camp, I will preview the NBA Finals of Game 1 between the Knicks and the Spurs. It officially starts tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern on ABC. It's going to be on ABC all series long between the Knicks and Spurs, 3 versus 2 matchup. The Knicks, Eastern Conference champions, take on the Spurs, Western Conference champions. So we're definitely have a new crown. So 2 teams are 4 wins away from winning their respective titles. So that will be that here. Also, I want to talk about what I said from today. Who do you think who's going to have a better season between these two? Will it be A.J. Brown or Myles Garrett? I'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll revisit it tomorrow. Who will have a better season? And which better player has a chance to win a Super Bowl? A.J. Brown or Myles Garrett? I'll talk about that tomorrow. That's for sure. As we're approaching June 3rd, which is tomorrow. Okay, that's it. This is JDB's Morning Cap. We're back at it tomorrow. And we'll see you tomorrow and have a good day. Have a good day.